Yeah, man. Peace, family. Back again at you with a new video where we're going to explain a lot of things that is going on. You know, the zombies are celebrating their Christmas. Yeah, and everything is stopped. You know, they got the Christians. They on YouTube celebrating Christmas. It's all a BS, and you know that the controllers. That's how they control them, because they created that celebration in the middle of winter because there's what else they're going to do when it's so cold? Nothing. See that? And all they can do is the programming, which is Christianity and all our crap that they all into it. And look what I found, guys. This is background 1494 to 1800s, early polar exploration. It says that 1800s, 1900s. Then Ahmed's polar career, 1800s. Everything happened in 1800s, 1900s. They found, expedition to North Pole, the first one, people. 1926. What a BS. And then you got Italy expedition, 1928. Amundsen and whatever that means, 1928. First set foot in North Pole. 1960s, people. 1950s and 60s. Ain't that some bullshit they gave you? This is all after the resets. Yeah, it's all after the resets. As you can see, you're telling me that there was nobody going to the North Pole that whole time during since Abraham, Isaac, and all these biblical characters that they tell you lived 500. You have Adam living 900 years. You're telling me they didn't go to North Pole all his life? You're telling me all them didn't? They never. These Bible patriarchs, they don't know the earth until 1928. They what date says that? Hold on. 1960s, people. Not until 1960s, 50s and 60s. They tell you that they went to North Pole. That's after the resets that they did, as you can, you guys know. So it was a reset. The mud flood resets of Noah's Ark, and then they changed everything. As you know, the African continent that was in America, and they changed the whole thing. We found but the borders show you in the map. America was they had Africa over there, they had Egypt over there, and all of a sudden, the whole thing changed places, changed the names and everything, and they were contracts, sole contracts that they did. You know, these entities bought this religion. Don't forget that, and they made contracts. Yeah, and their contracts is that they will go anywhere and to these churches as well. You know, all these churches, and they will evangelizing them to accept Christ and celebrate Christmas like they're doing now. Where do you think it came from? Yeah, and who divide the world into? They divide the world into. They're not telling you the Treaty of Tordesillas. Yeah, they divided Religio Treaty that divided the world into. Nobody telling you. Yeah, they show you the Spanish control, French control, yellow is Portuguese control, pink is Spanish control, the red is Russian. No? It's a bit unreadable, but don't worry, I got a lot of them. Essential questions. What date changes in Europe took place in 15th and 16th centuries that allowed for overseas colonization? How did European exploration in America impact native peoples? What are the similarities and differences among the Spanish, French, and British patterns of colonization in America? Oh, so as you guys see, after the reset, you got all these nations that they create. After the Treaty of Tordesillas, they created these countries. You see them create all these different countries like Spain, French, British. But these are like countries that were formed by the Religio. Okay, and after the reset, of course, they created all that. Then it tells you about the Mughal Empire that died. Yeah, by what? Corruption, neglect, army behind the times, high taxes, lack of tolerance, peasant uprisings, foreign invaders. You see that? Because when they did this Treaty of Tordesillas, then the French and all of them had the right to run their boats down there, run their take soldiers, set up banks, set up places or forts, and rule these places basically. So they had foreign invaders coming in and doing stuff, and then they had other issues like high taxes that were going on, just like that, and they destroyed the whole so-called Mughal Empire. They were destroyed, like all the other empires that were in the middle of this treaty. History of Portugal, they show you there. He looks like a man with a face. Yeah. And it was there they took all these decisions of the treaty between Portugal and Spain. That's how it started. And then the other countries joined as well. England, Germany, all of them. They all wanted a piece of the pie. But who are these people? And how they don't know that America existed or nothing? It was just after the reset. That's why they don't know. They were these babies that they show you in these things, and they put them there, and they gave them a mission. Discover the world. They call them, Christopher Colombo, all these guys. This one of them, Father Bartolome de las Casas. You know, was the religion that was creating this world that see that? Was writing books, writing the reality that we have today. Was the babies of the reset. They didn't know the past. They didn't know America existed. Don't forget that. Look in there. Who is that? Resetting everything up. Jesus Church. See that? All the saints there in the world. See that? All of them. Yeah. Here, another one. These are, you see how they come in and then they start taxing them and exploiting the lands and taking the resources, of course, They have to pay tribute to him. They were slaves and all that. That's how they do it. Hold on, what says there? The conquistadores administered their fertile lands in okay. They were not nice, basically, and enslaved them, beat them, take their food, took the lands. These are the guys that bought you the church, and then bought you this. The church bought these guys. See that? They're the only history showing you. And I showed you before that it was the same thing that they were worshipping. See that? All sent by Jesus. And look at them that going to them there, you see that? Asking them for and he's got this wrap red, which means blood. See that? They can do. From where? From the church of Rome. See that? They will come like that because they got the line that they passed to you. They got the line, they have the right to shoot anybody away. Here we go, when I got this guy, was the king, was he Sixtus? That's right. Was the guy doing the stuff, passing these laws from the church. Then you got the Treaty of Tordesilhas. The new claim of land put much tension between the Spanish and the Portuguese. They had to devise a way to split their claims. They reached out to Pope and he negotiated the Treaty of Tordesilhas. This there in the history, man. They made the Treaty of Tordesilhas that tells you there in the map how they divide the road to themselves. You see, Brazil, half of it belonged to Spain, the other half belonged to Portugal. This is in America, and they divide the earth into starting there, after the reset, of course. That's what they do. They divide it and keep moving. See that? Everybody took a little bit. Here we go, pulling them. Nephis, pulling Baphomet. Is one of them. Aliens. They got them in the school and everything. See that? Vocabulary. See? Soul, genders, urban, celebrity, soul, mind control script. Hernando Cortes conquered the Aztec. Then, once Pope gave them this liberty, then the whole world belonged to them. That's what I see that, and telling you in your history that, Cortes attacked the Aztecs in 1518. They were still resetting, 600 men was unsuccessful, but left smallpox behind, which would later weaken the Aztec. Then Cortes raised an army of disgruntled natives, see that, and conquered them. He broke them with some disease. It's old people using pandemic. Gave them pandemic and they owed. Right in their history, look in there, conquered by the Aztec, Hernando Cortes. Treaty of Tordesilhas. Right again. Okay. Demarcation, line of boundary, established by Pope Alexander VI on May 4, 1493, to define the spheres of Spanish and Portuguese possessions in the New World. The line ran due north and south 100 leagues, about 483 kilometers, about 300 miles. So they say west of the Azores and Cape Verde Islands. All new lands lying east of this line were to belong to Portugal. All those to the west to Spain. Portuguese dissatisfaction with the arrangement led to the Treaty of Tordesilhas in 1494 between Portugal and Spain, in which new line of demarcation sanctioned by Pope Julius II in 1506 was set 370 leagues, about 1,770 kilometers, about 1,010 miles west of Cape Verde Islands. All these deals they're doing of this imaginary line that belongs to Portugal and Spain. That's all they be doing here, see that? Setting up the stage for this new road. Although they start since then. What are you talking about? Looking at the old lines, Portugal line and Spanish line on the left. So here we go to the Religio line, Pope Alexander VI, 1493. Reset. You know, they were still resetting. It must be that these places there didn't fall, and they had to deal with these people left in this manner. Treaty of Tordesilhas, again, which is basically what we already read, I think, yeah, pretty much the same thing. So they got it all in books, they got it all in documents, signed up and stamped by the king and everything. All the scholar, all in the matrix script. See that? They're signing it over there in Spain. They signed this contract. It was in Spain, people. They did it. And you can see them there. See that one is the priest. The church is there. Then you got magistrates or something. Then you got the bankers there. See that? This one is the bankers. And they need to know these roads to know where they're gonna invest. And then you have these adventurers like Colombo and these guys, and they invest in him, and he tells them, you know, it's like his eye in the place. You know, there was no internet, don't forget that, according to them. So you see, it's Portugal here and Spain as well. They go together there signing it, and you see the bird. See the bird down back, Jesus bird. Is that back there with the lions and 7 kingdoms probably. And they are here, see that? All the guys from the church that control, you know, the government, you know. And here this photo, see the Spanish, that's the Spanish house where they did they signed the treaty there, but it looks so weird looking at people. So weird how it looks. It looks like it's fake. This church there looks like a shadow. It looks like they composed this picture or something. It's probably composed, you know, does it look? It looks weird. A house on top center left to the tower is where treaty was concluded in 1494, people. That's all they have to you. Some phony picture that don't even look real. This house is like there's no windows or what. Yeah, don't look real, people. And you don't even see nobody. It just look like some, you know, leftover houses that took a photo and made a story. Continuing to the Zillions, so all these characters, man, it's made up. Don't trust them. It's all documents and that's it. All 1500 fleet Portuguese ships commanded by Pedro Alves Cabral set out for India, but the ship was blown off course. The expedition reached present-day Brazil. This led Portugal claiming the land as it was east of the line of demarcation. So they're saying that the Portuguese didn't even know, this Portuguese guy, Pedro Alves Cabral, hit Brazil by accident. He didn't even know that, you know, there was a continent at these miles, at this point. They just find out there was a land there, and because it was in their line, so it belongs to them. Can you believe that? They didn't know nothing about the past or nothing. Even these guys traveling for for months in the sea, they didn't know the earth or nothing. They didn't have old maps. What maps were they using? Who gave them the maps? You guessed it, the church, because they didn't have the old maps. So they didn't know that was a continent over there. So these people were new. To start with, they are product of the reset. Treaty of Tordesillas again. When Columbus discovered America, the Spanish and Portuguese quarreled and compromised the two nations and divided the world. Here we go. Here's what I told you. That's what they do. And then divided even more by inserting the other nations and giving them as well, other lines for the piece of the pie. So that's why you have everybody speaking French over there. Next country speaking Spanish. Next country speaking Portuguese. It's to do with that. Treaty of Tordesillas. It's all over the place. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same line. Here you got them signing. As I showed you before, they got plenty pictures showing you that because this reality set on that. That's what they did after the reset and the New World Order. That's why it started. It's not starting now. Now is you in the last days, of this reset, and then they probably want new reset. That's a new reset they're doing now, and then they're going to restart something else. But that's how these resets came from the resets. Yeah, they had the script since then. Here is North America again, showing you Portugal, Spain, what they own, and all that crap. It's all over the place. Most of Latin America area south of the United States speaks Spanish today and has a heavy Spanish cultural influence because of that, while Brazil speaks Portuguese and has a heavy Portuguese cultural influence because of that, because Pedro Alves Cabral was sent in there, hit Brazil by accident, then they all speak Portuguese, the other half speak Spanish. But what was they speaking before they hit there? They're not telling you. It was a reset. The Treaty of Tordesillas, that's what they tell you. So, yes. Tratado de Tordesillas, 1494 to 1994. See that? It's the first time that they're telling you that human beings been traveling across the sea and find another continent. That's a new story they're giving you. That's why I told you it's their story, because it's not the real story. Can't tell me that the Earth has been here for all this time, and now this guy just, yesterday, 1900s, found this other continents. No, in 1900s is when he went to North Pole. Are you kidding? It's all a joke. Mm-hmm. See that? This guy, he probably never even exist. This Colombo guy, he's just a character. Okay, they created to give you that story, basically, because you don't even look real, to be honest. And it shows you it's an old religion they built after the reset, bringing their boats, but they didn't even know America was there or nothing. It was all an accident to them. But they say they God sent them now. See that? You got Jesus and these angels hanging in the boat and everything. It's all a program that they built since then. and they brought this program to all these places that they, you know, the the Pope told them to go. You know, again, same guy, Pope Sixtus. That's all you have from him. There's no, you know, he's probably just another character. And then you got even the evidence that they, you know, the treaty, they make coins. Because I told you, bankers, they were there in the treaty. Don't forget that. They were there to invest in these lands. They had to invest. They had to make you know, their money be worth of all this commerce, because it was all about commerce, finding lands to do business, and then what? Take people down, enslave them, take their stuff. What type of story is that, man? They put it together. Looking at another coins that they made in Portugal, 1994, 1494 to 1994. They had these coins going on, and even probably now they're gonna have these coins going on to show you that, you know, that's what they do or did. But was this real history, or was it fix? Was reset history? That's what I'm telling you. Antecedentes históricos. A formação do Estado Monárquico Português em 1143 e unificação dos territórios de Castela e Aragão, Espanha, em 1469. Reconquista do território da Península Ibérica, em 1492, pelos reis católicos. You see that? The Catholic kings were the ones that formed the monarchic states. Yeah, the Portuguese monarchic state. They were Catholics that formed it. That's why he's saying that. In 1143. And unification of the territories of Castella and Aragon in Spain in 1469, and they took over the territory and the Peninsula Iberica in 1492 by the Catholic kings. See that? Who founded all that? See the coin in there, the money? They show you that. Who found the money is there. You guys are not studying. Look, that's the two countries they formed. One in 1000, the other one in 1400. And they both doing the same thing, going down, you know, taking countries, doing banking, and, you know, Rome. Okay, here we go. The bankers gave them the boats, the money, you know, all the Red Cross is there and everything, you know. You got platform, yeah, man. It's all set up, you know. Romanticized it and everything, like it makes sense that you're gonna go somewhere and enslave other people. He's enslaving you, because then they make all these laws that you can't travel and all that, because these people who gave them all this stuff to do. See that? It's all to do with the treaty, and it's all to do with the people getting power, getting money, you know, and they all have interests in the in the empire, the newly formed empire. That's I showed you before. And let's see. Yeah, it's the Treaty of Tordesillas that this represents. And here they are again. Yeah. All Religio setup of cube that they set up long time ago. New world order came then, not now. You know, they divide everything and rename everything. What do you know now? It's a new world since then. See that? That was a reset. See all these lands with different colors, and at the same time they were creating these nations, giving them new flags, new names. What do you think? Now we don't know what happened back there to the ancestors or nothing. That's all you need to know. Because they changed everything, they changed names of these continents and everything. So what do you know, man? Telling me everybody came from Africa like these guys do. Yeah, in Kemet and these Israelites think they came from Africa as well. But okay, they don't know nothing and still worshiping Christmas. And the Tratado of Tordesillas document over there. It's no bullshit, people. It's official, see that? They lie to you that you have a choice. No, they have already made their choice. They tell you they own the whole entire earth here. That's why we have to pay rent to them. See that? Portuguese possession, Spanish possession, and the treaty, the line, you know. And the other countries like, England, they also had their own possessions. Like, they got, other parts of the world. And the islands and all that. The British got a lot of islands they took. Tratado de Tordesillas. Mm-hmm. So the official people. Official document and everything. Signed with, is it blood? Signed and everything in down there. It's stamped down there and everything. It's all contract telling you that Jesus owned all of that. And he made his church, is Yahweh. Yahweh made all of that. This is his document telling you he owns you and he owns the whole entire world. Since then, after these resets that you can't even, scrap. You can't even get it. You think you have real history. But these guys trying to tell me they have real history. They don't. That's all, man. How long is this? Yeah, it's half an hour. So, I'm gonna close, man. It's all a BS, as you can see. They got treaties, documented treaties in there. It's signed and everything with stamp. Lisbon, Spain, and signed both sides. It's official document, people. And then it's signed by the king and everything. Signed by the king and everything. And there's another stamp on top up there. I can't read, but I'm telling you it's official. There's a Mass 5, number 25. Okay, of the notes. It's super official document that you can check. Got diplomacy, luso-castellana, século XV, 15, yeah. So, here we go. Now, it doesn't show nobody taking Asia right here in this map. Have you noticed? Because these other countries was owning parts of Asia and other parts that they're not showing you here yet. Or Asia was not, under attack yet. But they were resetted as well and they were weak. They were gonna be next. or they were the invaders in the first place. Totally to the ZDS. Mm-hmm. Just show you. That's it, man. I hope you get what I'm trying to say in these videos, because this is about the history that they're not telling you. They're lying about the stories and telling you that you know, this religion came and is real. There's nothing real about them. They bought this and they bought that religion with that. See the cross in there and over there? See who bought it? That's it, man. Love you all. Peace.